But as we gather here today, I really want to discuss an entirely new threat to our country. Just a few miles up the road in Washington, D.C., an entirely different scene is unfolding. Our government and our legacy institutions are losing credibility in the public eye at breakneck speed, even though their systematic takeover of America has been going on for years. The federal bureaucracy, the mainstream media, academia, Hollywood, big tech, and every other nexus of power in America today has turned its fire against Christians, against anyone who stands in their way. I call this the crisis of legitimacy in the United States government. America was founded on the notion that all political power comes from the consent of the governed, and that sovereignty does not belong to any one official or institution, but it belongs to we, the American people. The reality is that the government in Washington, D.C. no longer represents the people it claims to serve. And it has stopped even pretending to execute the charge laid out by our founders, the protection of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Put simply, Washington is losing its legitimate claim to govern the American people. Millions of Americans look around and wonder, what's becoming of their beloved nation? They don't recognize the place that they grew up in, and they wonder what kind of future is in store for their children and grandchildren. Young men, particularly young white men, aren't signing up in great numbers for military anymore because they don't want to fight for a country that hates them. They don't want to die halfway around the world to protect the borders of Ukraine or Taiwan or any other country on the earth when our own border is being overrun by the millions.
Now we're going to just pause that right there. Y'all see what's happening. The people who used to be in the front, like the very first ones to sign up, the white men of America, white men of America, used to be the first ones to sign up to fight for the United States. And now they're feeling like, well, I mean, obviously everything is against us. So why should we be the ones to be the first to fight? Let the people that you're pushing for be the first ones to fight. Let's see if the list of new recruits are heavy on the LGBTQ ABC community. I'm talking about the fight in the military. All right. We have been teaching people how to grow online. It's been absolutely amazing. We have 3 people who have been able to reach monetization in less than 30 days. Growing YouTube channels, some from 0 people. We have one guy who had 2 subscribers before he started working with me. He started helping him. His views went up 4.8 million%. We're super excited. If anybody ever want to grow on YouTube, you reach out to me with the word coach. Because if we ain't got no military, then what are we? Because we were once the strongest, most feared country in the world. What are we now? Not sure. Not sure. But we'll see. Hopefully, we ain't all got to be taken up out of here in order to see.
With terrorists and cartel members and human traffickers
Put that on your mind.
every day. They don't want to join a fighting force that is more concerned with woke activism, gender inclusivity, LGBT issues, than it is with protecting Americans. They don't want to be part of an operation that spends trillions of dollars abroad while the small towns they call home are falling into dissolution and our communities are being ravaged by drugs and depression while their jobs are shipped overseas without a second thought, just to come home to a country hell-bent on vindictive identity politics that promises to take what little social and economic capital they have left and redistribute it to racial, sexual, religious, and other minority groups as a pure power play by the radical left.
Wow.
Who can blame them?
Wow. You speak of science.
And how long can a country last in that way? It isn't just happening in our military either. As we see every day, virtually every single institutional power in our country has become openly hostile to conservatives, to Christians, to our country's legacy, and even the concept of Western civilization itself. Our education system has been taken over by radicals who push insane political ideologies like CRT, DEI, transgenderism, and more on our poor children, while they no longer even learn basic reading, math, and civics. They come down with the full force of the law when a student tries to open a Bible or say a prayer in school. And you know, they're putting all this stuff over on our young people who have brains that are not fully developed yet. And to take somebody who's curious and impressionable and infect them with these kinds of things is nothing less than child abuse. You know, inflation, gas prices have risen so high that everyday American families struggle to even put food on the table and gas in their cars. And Washington's solution, double down on insane environmental policies like the Green New Deal, mandatory electric vehicles, even though other countries pollute at far higher rates than we do. And we're sitting on some of the largest untapped oil reserves in the world. Our borders are wide open. An estimated 10 million illegal aliens have invaded our country since Biden took over, which is more than the population of 40 of the 50 states. A civilization cannot sustain itself this way, and we have no idea who these people are. They could be terrorists, spies, cartel members, or human traffickers, and they appear to be mostly military-aged males.
And when Trump was in office and he said these sort of things, it came off as racist. When he tried to put up a wall to stop all of this, that was considered racist. Everyone else that voted for these sanctuary cities are now going to all of these meetings in Chicago, New York, cussing their mayors and governors out, wondering why they are now being placed second or third fiddle behind illegal immigrants. They have been starving for years and years. They don't have anywhere to stay. They don't have anywhere to stay. They don't have any finances, any financial help from the government like they thought they would have, even with the school systems. But guess who's getting the extra money? You guessed it, the illegal immigrants. But yet, when Trump was trying to do it, everybody was saying, nah, that's racist. Yeah, we see what we're doing right now. We see where we are right now. Do we even care? Are they going to do anything about it in the polls when it's time to vote? Nope, they're not. Because right now the spin is on. The spin is on.
They could be affecting things like our cell phone systems and whether they work appropriately every day. And I guarantee you there's a whole bunch of stuff that they're going to be doing. All these people coming here are not our friends. The leaders in Washington won't enforce the law and protect you from the rampant crime that is destroying our inner cities and making them unlivable for families and children. And they even want to take away your ability to protect yourself by attacking lawful gun owners and slowly abolishing the Second Amendment. Meanwhile, they let hardened criminals out of jail while peaceful pro-life protesters and patriotic grandmothers who walked into the Capitol on January 6th are facing a decade or more in prison. Think about that. Think about that. And this is at a time when we lived through the summer of BLM Antifa protests, burning down cities, destroying businesses, looting stores, with support from government officials and the biggest corporations on earth. The law is being used to constantly harass upstanding citizens while the real criminals go untouched. To our leaders, you and I are the enemy. Not the carjackers and the looters and the criminals who are running rampant in our cities.
And it goes on and on. I need to find the rest of this right here, but Ben Carson set him on fire, man. He's just telling y'all the truth. He didn't say anything that was like, shock and awe moment. Nah, at all. As a matter of fact, what y'all need to do is share this on any social media platform that you can share it on, so that people who would not normally cut this on if they saw Ben Carson about to say anything, which would be people on the left, they not going to play this, bro. I don't care if they're black, white, or other. It's not, it don't matter. It don't matter. He could have just now been talking for the last 7 minutes, talking about how great Joe Biden is. They wouldn't care. They'd be like, Ben Carson does not represent us. He don't stand for what we stand for. We don't want to hear him. We want to hear somebody that's going to continue to root us on and do the wrong things. That's it. That's it. He's on the wrong side. And that's that effed up mentality that we have as Americans that got us in this piss poor situation we're in right now. And now we're trying to figure out how to dig ourselves up. And we're digging ourselves out of it with a damn spoon instead of a shovel. And it's partially our fault. It's partially our fault. Because even when we have an opportunity to do the right thing, we do not. When we have an opportunity, when we have a platform or a soapbox that we should be on, speaking about what changes need to be made, we talk about the same BS that does not move the needle in a way of bringing the country together. It just divides us even more. That's partially our fault. So if we want to break some chains, man, we all got to turn to God first of all, and we all have to accept our part in this. And then we must communicate to the individuals that's effing up this country that it will be in their best interest if they start to at least understand how their past votes and their current actions are lending itself to the demise of what was once considered the greatest nation in the world. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van. Now we are all the LFR family. I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing per usual. Love y'all. Peace.